What up, YouTube? We're bringing it back. The what up, YouTube, because that's how I'd always start these things. So I'm sitting here in the van. I'm kind of sitting in a funky spot because this is the bed and that's the desk and there's that thing. And originally I was gonna make that the desk with a chair right there, and I never got a chair. And so I just don't use it as a desk. Maybe it'd be nice if I did. Like, I actually completed the idea that I had. But that's a common theme with me in projects, finishing them, tough. So anyway, I'm sitting right here on the little, what's this called? My little piss cabinet, I think is what I'm going to refer to it as, because that's what I do in this cabinet. But right now it's gonna be a little stool because I was getting a little sore sitting on that, just because this is a bit high up and it's not a thick mattress, so my booty is just sitting on wood, and then my feet can't really touch the ground when I sit, so I feel a little bit more stable here. It's not the most comfortable on my ass, but whatever, here we are. So I opened up my little notebook. I was gonna do some reflecting because I thought maybe I should. And then I opened to the first page, which is, the January page, and it says goals, and I had basically no goals on there. It's more of like I don't know if it's like a quote or an idea, but it's the path with less noise. It's not a quote even. It's barely an idea, but I think I wrote that in thinking I want to take the path with less noise. And what that means is it's more along the lines of don't force, find life that is not difficult in the sense, like it's not going against my flow. And I wrote music isn't noise, and I also write the good grind is music. And that's to mean, you can have noise, sounds that are pleasant, like working hard for something that you're passionate about or gives you value, brings you meaning, and gives you purpose. So I think that's what that was all supposed to mean. And then I just wrote down make some money, and I've underlined some because I'm pretty broke right now. I think I have about $1,300 to my name, give or take. And I'm here in San Diego, only able to live here because I got this mofo, this van. This is home. I'm just parked, right outside Marco's house, apparently. Marco's house. What word was it going to use? It wasn't apparently. Anyway, not important. Doesn't matter. The point is, living in this thing, super cheap, super nice, allows me to live here longer. Anyway, money, I need some of that. I met with some of Marco's friends yesterday. We didn't meet, we hung out. But one of them was suggesting me searching for this job that he does as a part-time. It's like 6 to 8 hours a week, but it's $33 an hour. So that'd be like $180 minimum, maybe like just over 200, which would be dope, which would be sweet. That much a week I can survive on. That's groceries, and maybe gas, groceries and gas. So that would allow me to stay here a little bit longer and not worry too much. And it's 8 hours a week. Like, that's nothing. I could do that. Obviously there'd be driving too and blah, 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 but whatever. The point is I could make some money. Okay. And then there's a lot of things I got to figure out for my life right now, because I am just hoboing it, really. I am gonna sit on the floor because I'm sore. And yeah, there's just not a lot of space in this van at this moment in time. Because I got my backpack, I got my laptop and my camera stuff, which I don't use that often because look at me going old school with the phone, which I kind of like it. It means that I actually film and use it, and the convenience is nice. So we're not going for quality of production. We're going for using my phone, using it, filming, making something. And I think that is an important theme. It's like trying something or just doing something rather than not. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just gotta start, gotta try and create something, gotta do something, and that extends beyond just like, making videos, making content. Yeah, that's what I think. But I'm losing myself. Yeah, right. What do I want to do with my life? Well, there's a lot of things I want to do with my life, actually. And you might not, come to understand that when you look at my life surface level. Because you think, oh, you're just homeless and you're broke. What the heck are you doing? Well, let me tell you, I want to travel. You might hear that and you might laugh too, because, that's not what most Americans do or most people my age. But that's what I want to do. I want to travel throughout Latin America. I want to go through Mexico and see all of it and have an awesome experience, improve my Spanish. And then I'd like to make my way to Colombia, live the Colombia life, the gringo in Colombia. That would be fun. That would be so cool. And eventually got to do Brazil with Markovic and Marco. So those are kind of 3 big destinations. And then in my mind, I'm thinking about Argentina. I feel like that would be cool too, even though I don't know much about it. But the point would be to go and explore all the countries in Latin America. But to do this, I need some money. I can volunteer. I can do World Packers and have free place to stay while I am traveling. But I need food and I need to pay for, buses and plane flights and all that fun stuff. Now, in order to do that, I need money. How am I going to get money? Well, originally I was thinking, why don't I do the holiday work visa in Australia? Travel. I get to continue traveling, but I'm working, I'm making money, and it would be fun. Meet some freaking Australians. They're funny people. They're nice too. They're friendly. Yeah. And a lot of people work in the mines. They get good money. You work on farms. I think you get okay money. You can work in hospitality and probably get less money, but it's a fun job. Work in a bar, super fun. Not as much money. Well, maybe you get tips and stuff. I don't know. Something like that. Being an American too as a bartender, I feel like that could be cool. I hear that they love Americans in Australia. But anyway, point being, I could travel and make money. It wouldn't necessarily be a lot of money, but there's a lot of value in doing that because I get to travel. And I wouldn't be making money that is getting saved, we'll be honest. I'd love to put away some money into savings. And when I say savings, I'm talking about like my Roth IRA. Or no, it's not even a Roth, it's just an IRA. That's all I got. But yeah, I'd put some money into that, and then with what I did make, I'd go and travel Latin America. Hopefully not spending a lot of money if I'm staying in like World Packers, getting fed for my volunteer work, and then all I'm doing is I'm paying for traveling and like maybe fun activities. Money could go faster than I think, but I would do that for as long as I can. Now that would be really cool. But when I think about it again, I think, dang, dude, I don't got nothing. I'm so broke. Which is facts, dude. I'm very broke. And after driving to California and servicing the van, that took away a lot of money. So I feel like I'm in a little bit of a rough spot. And my options were becoming, okay, I sell the van, which, I just started living in for the most part. I sell it, and I go to Australia with some money in my pocket. And it just makes it a little bit less stressful, maybe. Which, yeah, that would be an option. I think it's possible, but then I wouldn't have my van. And the good thing about the van is the second option, staying here in San Diego and getting a job as an engineer, working that for like a year or so, grinding away, living out of the van, dude, making San Diego salary with 0 rent. That sounds amazing. Like, imagine easily 6-figure salary, maybe a little bit more than just the 6-figure mark. 0 rent. A company that does 401k matching. I don't have to pay for dental or medical insurance. Yes, please. So there's that idea. And the good thing about that is I'd save a lot of money. I'd put money into retirement. I'd be still, in a place that I haven't lived too much before. So this is a neat experience. This is a cool life. I just wouldn't be in Australia. I've already paid for my visa, which is tough. And I have until next December to go. But the big thing about doing this, not only would I save a lot of money, I'd have a lot of money to invest in retirement fund, blah, blah, blah. I'd also have money to do Brazil, hear me out, Brazil 2027 with Markovic and Marco, which has been something Markovic has definitely been talking about a lot. And now I've been hanging out with Marco, we've been talking about it a bit too. Now, I'm going to lie down, see if this is comfy. Oh, yes. So, super comfy. Yeah. Brazil 2027. Now, if I go to Australia for a year and I come back at the start of next year, basically a year from now, and we do Brazil trip, are they going to want a road trip down to Brazil, or are we going to just go to Brazil right away? No idea what this kind of travel sitch looks like. But yeah, I guess I have no idea what it looks like. Maybe I should talk to Markovic more about it, get some more clarity on it, and that might fuel my decision making now. Maybe that's a good plan. Maybe that's what I need to do. Anyway, I'm talking to myself right now in order to further reflect upon these ideas and the decision I should make, that I need to make rather. And I'd rather be more proactive than reactive. It's if someone now offers me tomorrow $14,000 for the van, and I just say yes, and then I go to Australia, and it's okay, well, I kind of just reacted to that situation that was at hand. Yeah. And basically the kind of tough part about making that decision, selling the van, would be when I do come back from Australia and maybe we go to Brazil and I also get to travel in Latin America. I come back to the States and I have nothing, no van. That would be tough, dude. Obviously I live with my parents in Maine again until I find a job, and then maybe I can move to wherever my job is, and maybe I'd still be making decent money and saving, but I wouldn't be saving as much if I'm not paying, I would not be paying for rent. So yeah, that's on my mind a bit. Other options would be get a contract role, an engineering contract role, and work that for 3 or 4 months. That would be dope. That would be sick. And I did just reach out to Joe, and I'd love to, work with him if I can. But I also would like to do that while I'm here. And I only want to do it if it makes sense for him still. And if it does, then hell yeah, I would do that. That would be amazing. that could actually solve my problems. So anyway, I think 2 decisions I just made is reach out to Markovic, understand realistically what Brazil 2026 would mean to him, what he would want to do, and maybe that can influence some of the decisions I make. But with this idea of like contract work, if I can get it with Joe, that would be amazing. If not, it's worth looking for. I don't know how to find it exactly, but I gotta like try and put myself out there anyway. Yeah. But basically, if I found a contract role for like 4 months, because I'd get more money. 3 months would be cool too. Let's say like I make decent money in a contract role for that time frame. Then I could keep the van, I drive it home, right? And then I still go to Australia. And I travel in Australia and I work in Australia and I do Brazil 2027, do Latin America, and then I come back home and I still got a van. Dude, doesn't that sound like the best option? I get to go to Australia. I get to work and save money. I get to do Brazil and I get to do Latin America. And I get a van? Come on. Life doesn't get better than that. And like I just come back and I just get another job. And I work and I make big boy money. Yeah, dude. That would be amazing. So it's either that or I just get a job now and yeah, I maybe don't go to Australia this year. Oh boy. Yeah. So I think I got a little clarity, but I also feel a little like, I don't know if frustrated is the right word, maybe a little down. Just knowing like, okay, there's some things that I can't immediately act upon or control. Those being what? If Joe's going to give me work or not, whether I obtain work or not, whether or not someone actually wants to buy my van. But things I can control, telling Joe that I'd like to work for him, advertising the van, applying for jobs, applying for contract roles, making my own contract engineering company. How the heck would I do that? But what I've learned is you don't have to know how to do anything. You just gotta start. And by starting, you start figuring it out. Something just beeped. I don't know what the heck it would have been. Maybe it's the battery system? Why'd you beep? I can't even see it from here. Anyway, I don't know. But yeah, dude, look at me. I'm just freaking like legs up, back on the hard floor on the soft rug. Pillow is not a pillow, but a backpack. And here I am. I think my lower back is just a little bit uncomfortable right now. Maybe it's from squatting. Tough, dude. Tough. Yeah, that's kind of it. Like, I'm enjoying talking to myself because I get the energy and I feel blood flowing and mind's working a little bit more. But this video is almost 20 minutes. And we all know that it's only me that's gonna be excited to watch it again. Oh boy. Yeah, anyway, we'll end it there. I'm trying to have fun, trying to just enjoy myself and entertain myself. And I'm entertained, to be honest. So that makes me happy. All right. Man, I gotta change my endings because I'd always just be like, goodbye.